guys, so we got so much cool stuff from the Nintendo Direct yesterday, and for tonight I felt like I would go over Pikmin 4. That was the first thing in the Nintendo Direct, and I'm really excited about it, so I thought maybe we could look at the trailer, go over what we can notice in that, and then I'm going to talk about some theories and just stuff people have been talking about for this game. Alright, so the trailer basically just starts off with, we have a ship heading towards a mysterious planet, most likely Earth, if, you follow that as the Pikmin canon that it's actually Earth, and it says Pikmin 4. Next up, we see a clear shot of what looks like someone's backyard. It's a bench and a fence. I'm going to pause the video real quick here, because if you look at the bottom of the bench, you can see some sort of blue, shiny something. I think they're like little gems. We'll talk more about them in a bit. And then a little further over, you can see some red shiny or pink shiny stones or gems over there. Then we see a fiery blowhog and some other cool stuff in the background. Looks like a tool bench or something. And right here, I'll pause it again. This is really interesting. We have some new enemies on the ground. Looks like maybe a juvenile form of the burrowing snagret. And you can also see some more of those blue gems, it looks like. We have some pots over to the left. We have some tires in the background. And then you can also sort of see in the sand what appears to be a yo-yo, maybe. Treasures are back in this game, and I'm really excited about that because I wasn't too huge on the fruit in Pikmin 3. I mean, fruit are okay. It's okay to have some treasures be fruit, but I didn't like that Pikmin 3 was nothing but fruit items. I much preferred getting lots of different cool treasures in Pikmin 2. And then in the background, you can see a full-on house, a full structured human structure in the background. Assuming this is a human structure, assuming this is actually Earth. And this has led some people to think that this game might actually be a prequel to the other Pikmin games. Maybe this is a prequel and humans are still around. Or maybe this house structure has just survived for whatever reason into the potential post-apocalypse that Pikmin takes place in. Okay, continuing forward here, you can see the yo-yo was glistening there. I think that counts as it being a treasure. I think that signifies that. So this has this new captain here landing in an area, but it's a different area than the crash site or the base, whatever you want to call it, that we see in a moment here. So yeah, here's the base, and as you can see, there's those pink stones. They seem to signify where the base goes. Just going to zoom it back here for a second and slow things down. So there you can see some sort of roots against like some dirt, and later on we see Pikmin are able to pull that and break out the dirt and unlock a new path. I'm going to move through this slower here, go frame by frame. All right, here's the red onion, and underneath it we see those pink stones I pointed out before. So those seem to be the base of operations here that you'll set up is probably marked by those pink stones. So potentially there could be an open area. I don't know about big open world, but an open area where you find those red stones and then you can make a new base somewhere. I think that would be pretty cool. Potentially instead of having a world map and choosing different levels, it could be one giant area that you just find more pink stone areas to mark your base camp. So there we can see a full spaceship in the background, which is pretty cool. And we just have the little, what was the top of Olimar's dolphin before, is now just this little, I don't know, transport mini ship maybe, a little escape pod or something. That seems to follow us throughout the game. So we'll talk more about that a little later when they show off what seems to be caves. But cool to see there's also a full spaceship in the background, like a big one. All right, going forward, our new captain here picks up a red Pikmin out of the ground. So red is probably the first Pikmin you're going to get in this game. I feel like what we saw before where there wasn't even a landing site was probably the very beginning of the game, and now this is probably the first Pikmin you get. That would be my guess anyway. All right, and then here we see that we do in fact have red, blue, and yellow, and the onion has now turned to a multicolor onion, so that was something in Pikmin 3, so probably multicolor onion is going to come back. I don't think they're going to do separate places to store all the Pikmin. They'll probably all be in one onion. And of course in the background you see the pellet flowers and everything. And there's the blue pellets again at the base of, I assume that's the same bench. All right, and then she leads the Pikmin out onto an adventure here. I'll pause the video again. All right, we can see a Bulborg or Grub Dog in the background there. We see a water spout. We see that gate again. Looks like there's another, that's a different house in the background. So it looks like we're in a full neighborhood here. Some of those gems, and once again, we have binoculars in the distance that we see later are in fact a treasure to collect. Stopping it again, there's this really cool elephant slide in the background. It almost looks like there might be a playground castle further on. I love the idea that this is like some sort of like backyard daycare area or kids playground or something that we're exploring in. Very cool concept for a Pikmin level. Here we have red Pikmin taking down a sandcastle wall, so pretty typical Pikmin stuff. In the background, you could kind of see another Bulborg there. And when the wall broke, let me pull it back slightly here for a second. When the wall broke, we saw some gems pop out. So I don't know what these gems will be exactly or what they'll do, but they seem to be pretty important. Here we have them fighting a fiery blowhog and using red Pikmin, who are immune to the fire, obviously. In the background, you see some sort of wheel and possibly a Bulborg. And then we see that clock that we saw on the wall from the earlier Pikmin trailer. So there's like a stopwatch there. I don't know if that's something that's actually going to change the amount of time you have or something, or if it's just going to be a treasure item and that the clock is just one of many, many treasures. Or it could be one of those treasures that does something for you. Maybe you'll have a longer time during the day or something if you get the clock treasure. Who knows? Here we see the Pikmin pulling on that root system to pull out the dirt so you can get past those. I thought I saw, let me pull it back real quick, I think I saw a strawberry. Yeah, is a strawberry over to the corner maybe? I think that's what I'm seeing there in the far corner. So there probably will be some sort of fruit, but I think they're just going to be a type of treasure among many, and not the only treasure. Here we have the Pikmin break some sort of wall, and then it's a climbing wall, so that's pretty cool. Then we have a brand new enemy up at the top here. Pretty cool looking. No idea what they're going to do. They kind of have a blowhog look to them with the snout, but who knows what this enemy is going to be like. And here we have them collecting the treasure, which is the binoculars. New treasure collected. And of course, now we get introduced to our newest Pikmin, Ice Pikmin. And here we have Ice Pikmin fighting a Grub Dog. If you notice, Ice Pikmin have a yellow flower. So that's the new flower color for new Pikmin introduced in Pikmin 4. Pikmin 1, they had white flowers. Pikmin 2 had pink flowers. Pikmin 3 had purple flowers. And now 4 has the yellow flowers. What's really cool about Ice Pikmin is they appear to freeze enemies and then they shatter afterwards. I almost feel like what they shattered into looks sort of like the gems that we've seen. So I don't know if those are like ice crystals or something. And in a second here, you'll see them under this pool of water. So throwing Ice Pikmin into a pool of water causes the water to turn to ice. Freezes over, which is pretty cool. And here we get our newest Pikmin character, Ochi. Ochi can break through those potted plants here and can carry items, so that's pretty cool. In the background of that shot, let me pull it back real quick again. So back here we see some familiar enemies, and there was one of those yellow wallywogs in the background. And right here is what I want to point out before. There appears to be a pumpkin up there, and that one has that shiny glow to it that is probably saying it's a treasure. And you can see behind the Bulborg here that there's more of those pink gems, which were where the landing site was. So maybe you'll be able to move your camp over to here or something like that. I think it'd be really cool if there was just a big, giant open world to explore and you find new landing sites to start from. So here we get 4 captains shown. So there's at least 4 captains, which is pretty cool because that was something that they wanted to do in Pikmin 3. We had concept art for 4 different captains. It looks like we're getting it this time. One of the captains is named Shepherd, which is fitting as a shepherd, moves around like a flock of sheep. And obviously Pikmin's all about moving around a giant flock of Pikmin. Shepherd also seems knowledgeable about Ochi, so potentially Ochi is native to wherever these guys are from. There's another one of those yellow wallywogs, and Ochi can carry Pikmin and move a captain across water. So Shepherd's saying, good boy, Ochi, you found a castaway. So maybe Ochi can sniff things out and find stuff for you. But really interesting is the fact that it's a castaway that we found. So this is another captain. So if the 4 that we saw earlier are already found at this point, this would be a 5th captain. Also, besides Shepherd, we now have the name for the other captain on the far right. His name is Colin. Since the who appears to be female captain is the one riding Ochi to find this, and we have Colin and Shepherd over on the right, this is either that final bald captain, the one that kind of looks like Dr. Robotnik, or it is a 5th captain or something. And we have a boss battle. I wonder what the number in the background there signifies. Could this be like a boss rush arena or something? Unclear. But pretty cool that this appears to be some sort of, pull it back again, Longlegs boss. It looks like the Raging Longlegs, but it's glowing, so it's probably some new Longlegs creature. This next part is super exciting to me. Appears to be an Empress Bulblax, and it looks like it's a cave. This is shaped like a cave, and we basically get confirmation of that right here. Yes, caves are back. That appears to be changing floors in a cave. I love the caves in Pikmin 2, so very excited about this. So we see the same 4 captains again. They're flying up into the sky. The spaceship stays down on Earth, though, and then it says Pikmin 4. But we get one final tease in this trailer, which is pretty interesting as well. So it's nighttime, which, again, in Pikmin, always at night, you go up into the sky. There's all these glowing little gems everywhere, and then we see a grub dog, a Bulborg, have glowing eyes, which kind of implies to me that this might actually have us exploring at night somehow. Maybe that clock treasure has something to do with that, because that was really featured when they first showed off this game. So I don't know, but I think creatures with glowing eyes will probably be stronger at night or something, and the fact that there seems to be a collectible that's only around at night, I could see some sort of explore at nighttime feature be something this game has. And then, of course, we get the release date here, which is July 21st, 2023. So while in the trailer, we only saw 4 different Pikmin types, the original 3, red, blue, and yellow, and then the new Pikmin, Ice Pikmin. The cover of the game has been shown off now, and you can see that the other Pikmin are there as well. Purple and white are front and center, so hopefully that means they're actually going to be part of the main game and not just relegated to challenge mode. And you can see pink Pikmin up at the top flying by. While rock Pikmin are not on the cover of the game, the bigger art for the cover of the game does have rock Pikmin. They just got cut out because I guess they just couldn't fit them onto the Switch case. So that is super exciting to me. I'm a big fan of every Pikmin type. It was one of the main things I wanted for this game, was for them to have all Pikmin types in the game, and that appears to be what we are getting. Sans potentially Bulbmin and the Mushroom Pikmin from the first game. But that's okay to me. Those were kind of special case Pikmin, so maybe they are in the game anyway. Maybe they just haven't seen them yet. I wouldn't expect them to be on the cover of the game anyway. Bulbmin might still be in the caves, and the Mushroom Zombie Pikmin, I feel like will never come back because they're purple colored, and we have a now designated purple Pikmin, so I don't think they do that again. I mean, they have the mushrooms on top of their heads, so maybe they'll come back, but I'm not counting on it. So the only new Pikmin on the cover of the game anyway is the Ice Pikmin. It's possible we could get more new Pikmin, but I'm kind of not counting on that considering the cover of the game only has the Ice Pikmin. I feel like if there were other ones, they would show it off. Again, I'm fine with this. I'd rather have all the old Pikmin return and just add one more new one that's Ice. That is more than enough Pikmin types at your disposal to have tons of cool puzzles to solve and enemies to fight. I have seen one theory floating around that the Ice Pikmin might actually be like an evolution of the Blue Pikmin. Like you might be able to turn Blue Pikmin into Ice Pikmin. As in the trailer, we don't ever see Ice Pikmin and Blue Pikmin together at the same time. Whenever the captain is using Ice Pikmin, there are no Blue Pikmin. So if that is the case, it's possible red and yellow could also have this treatment where they could maybe be like Flame Pikmin or Zapping Electric Pikmin or something like that. Some further evolution of the Pikmin types that we already have that gives them some extra traits. But again, I'm not really counting on that happening since we already have the box art, the case for the game. They only have Ice Pikmin there. I feel like if there were other ones, they would have shown that off. One new Pikmin type might not sound like too many, but again, we have a lot of old ones if all the old ones are returning here, which they are. And we have Ochi now, so Ochi's probably going to have a lot of interesting things that they can do that's going to be, you know, interesting for puzzles and stuff like that. That probably means we don't need multiple new Pikmin types. Ochi really reminds me of Poochie. I've heard a lot of people saying this. Ochi looks a lot like Poochie from the Yoshi and Mario games. Funny we got a Poochie equivalent in the Pikmin series, as I always thought Olimar was a Mario equivalent and Louie was a Luigi equivalent. I am curious if Ochi is native to Earth or whatever planet Pikmin takes place on, or if Ochi actually comes from the planet that the captains come from. Whether the captains come from Hokate or Kopai, I don't know. These might be captains from a brand new planet. Hokate is where Olimar and Louie hail from, and the Pikmin captains in Pikmin 3, Elf, Charlie, and Brittany hail from Kopai. Shepard did talk about Ochi's breed, but maybe they've been studying the wildlife on this native planet, or maybe Ochi is actually from their home planet. Who knows? The file size for Pikmin 4 is 12 gigabytes. Pikmin 3 Deluxe was only 6.5 gigabytes. Breath of the Wild is 14.4 gigabytes. So if that gives you an idea of how big Pikmin 4 is going to be, it's going to be a pretty big game, which again lends some credence to the possibility that this could be some sort of open world Pikmin, where you find those pink gem spots and create new landing sites to start the day from. And with that tease at nighttime exploration, maybe you try to get to a new landing site before it turns to night. Maybe they go away at night or something like that, and the enemies become much stronger. Lots of cool theories we can make on this Pikmin game. I absolutely can't wait till it comes out in July. And then finally, I feel like I should mention that Pikmin 4 is going to be a $60 USD game. So the price point for Switch games is not going up just because Tears of the Kingdom is going to cost $70. And we had some strange prices all over the place for things from that Direct, actually. The Metroid Prime Remaster is $40. Those Switch vouchers might start coming in handy if you want to save money on some of these games. So what did you think of the Pikmin 4 trailer we just got in yesterday's Direct? Did I notice some cool stuff that you didn't? Did you notice something that I didn't notice? If you have any thoughts or comments about any of the stuff I talked about in this video, feel free to leave them below.
Remember to like the video, leave a comment in the section below, and subscribe to Papa Gino's
Twitter, Patreon, Discord, Twitch.